sweet. The tech shaman. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Cool.
Energy.
Boom.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tech Shamans. Oh my God, this is episode 73. We should be on. Yeah, we should be on episode 125, but we're not. We've missed too many days and COVID and blah blah blah. Well, I got a really good tan today. Wow, I look like Trump.
Orange, man, bad. Orange, bad. Orange,
Cheeto.
Orange, bad. Man, bad. Orange.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So, hey, good morning. It's been it's been a very active last week, and this weekend was huge for tech worlds. And we got to get. I've got so many notes. I'm not sure we're going to get through everything today. I feel like super low key today. I don't have a lot of energy for this.
See, and I'm loaded for bear. I've been up since 2 a.m. and I'm just ready to go.
That means you guys can.
You already got a full day in.
I know.
More talking. But,
Yep.
So where we live, so all the kids are back to school. They went back today. Even mine, both my boys are in college now, and one is going to, it's USF. No, I'm sorry, St. Pete College, and he likes the Tarpon campus. And then my youngest, Cage, has he's been in, but he is starting a new school, Marchman. He's going to go. He wants to be an editor.
Okay.
But he doesn't want to be.
You mean video editor?
No, he doesn't want to do video editing. He wants to do the After Effects, the stuff where you actually make money. Let me tell you something right now. If you've got kids that are signed up to become producers or editors, and they're going to get them out of the field now. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. I watched a thing this weekend. Oh my God, the industry that I'm in right now. If it wasn't for me owning my own company, I probably wouldn't be working for anybody, because they want you to work half the cost, and then and it's
twice the hours.
So oversaturated.
Yep.
Half of the field, I think they said 50% of graduates from 2015 to now.
Yep.
That all of it is out of work.
Yep.
So communication's not a field you want to go into.
No,
not
when everything is DIY.
Nope.
You look at content creators online, and then you look at the, some of the really good ones, and then you go look at the number of people they have replaced by spending 20 hours a week editing their own material and then putting it up. And they've put 400 people out of business.
Right. Well, I mean, you had the people that make World of Warcraft and stuff. You had that whole thing where all of a sudden their employees are coming out. Well, I'm not getting paid enough. They don't pay us. And if you super dig down, I really dig down, and it was part of the story that I watched this weekend, that it's not the fact they're not getting paid enough, as they signed contracts that were just stupid, and they signed the contracts to get in with these companies so they could build their. And this is, I tell you what, okay, you want to make, I'm going to look, you want to make an employer angry, have a side hustle. Yeah. Have a plan B. Because if that employer finds out you have a plan B, that means you're not giving that employer 100%.
I'm gonna let you know a secret. When I was working for a major Wall Street firm, they had me in charge of their training program. And what I realized was after about 6 months, I was able to weed out
the side hustles?
80% of the people who wouldn't make it. Well, you're not allowed to have a side hustle. Okay, right. When you're in the financial field. Yep. But you still had to pass the Series 7. And they had, 40-50% were not passing. I got that number up to 90% with one question. It was, what are you going to do if you fail? What's your plan B? Yeah. If they had one, don't hire them.
And I hate to be the guy that says that, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
I've had people come in here that, I've been around since 2003. Okay, maybe not as Tampa Bay Multimedia, but as Bayou Production, whole 9 yards. And the guys that came in, I said, "Where do you want to be in 5 years?" "Well, I want to have my own production company."
Right.
I am not your training ground. Have a nice day.
I'm not going to sit there and train you how to do it. I want that one guy that comes in and says, "I want to be where you're at 5 years. I want to be either part owner or I have bought you out."
Or
That's
I just
the cat
wanna
I
be,
want.
Yes, because he's willing
your
to
most
take your business to
valuable
the next level.
person in your business.
Right. I want to be the
Yeah.
guy that if I ever
Become my
leave,
MVP.
I used to give this old speech. My wife just hated it. I
Yeah.
would bring these guys in. I would set a bucket of water on the table. And I'd put my fist into that water and I'd pull it out. And I said, "Now, what did you see? What was left?" Nothing. It was like your water. I said, "Right. So when you leave, and you will leave, that's exactly what you leave. Nothing. You do not leave a hole." And they're like, I said, "So my question to you is, do you want to be the guy that leaves the hole? Be the hole."
Mm-hmm.
Because that guy is the guy that is important.
Right.
And if they didn't get it, I didn't hire them.
You know,
I was just that way.
my first boss.
And we were huge.
Yeah.
I mean, Bayou Productions was a massive company
Yeah.
back in the day, before the big hit. So
Yeah. No, my first boss out of college gave me probably the best advice I ever had, and that is, if you want to you want to move up in the structure, you have to do two things simultaneously. You have to make yourself completely indispensable to the company, while at the same time making yourself completely replaceable.
Yep.
Because you can't get pigeonholed into the job that you can never be
No.
moved out of.
No.
So you have to systematize it, create your own manual, make it all possible, but make yourself so valuable because you did that they want you to do it elsewhere.
We'll never let you.
Yes.
That's the kind of people I work for.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, we were talking about kids are starting back to school, so
Yep.
we're trying to talk about some stuff in the first of the show here about some accessories to improve the home experience. Because a lot of parents have opted to go, "No, you know what? I really don't want my kid to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to kind of be
Yep.
at home where I can." I mean, it must be nice to stay at home with your kids, and unless you're working from home too, but still. And I couldn't imagine. They would not work well in my house. So,
What's funny is,
because I would be the guy
Yeah.
going, "That's not right." I'd be going on the teacher, "You're wrong." Because
Yeah.
I would argue with the teacher. I always did.
which they have you taken care of in one county in Tennessee. You're not allowed to watch over your kid's shoulder to see what they're being taught.
So they don't want you to watch the indoctrination that our kids are going through.
I suppose you could call
That's
it that.
exactly what it is. Well, there's another
but
story. We
wow.
actually have a story in here
Yeah.
where university staff are worried that recorded lectures will
Right.
be used against them. Now, see, the way they wrote that headline, and that's not what we're talking about. We're going to get to that, but we'll get to that. That's an interesting piece for me.
Yes,
Right.
I really appreciated that one.
I
yeah.
read the whole thing, and I'm like, I read between the lines. So,
Oh yeah.
So here's some cool stuff. All right.
All right.
So the best accessories to improve your school from the home experience, right? Well, the first thing is in my opinion, you got to have something beyond. I mean, they're showing an iPad.
Right.
To me, I think you need a little something more than an iPad. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the new iPad Pros are almost
but-
as beefy as a small laptop.
Okay. Let's get to reality. Reality is most people cannot afford the brand new iPad.
You have a valid point.
So most people can afford to run down to Walmart. Seriously, I mean, in reality, and I'm not just saying Walmart, and go and buy their $499 laptop.
Right.
That's everybody's typical budget.
Yeah, and that's
You
their
know.
typical solution.
Run to Walmart, go get a thing, or they'll go to Aaron's, or they'll go to Rent-A-Center, or they'll
Best
go
Buy
to
or
Best
whatever.
or
Yeah.
no, not Best Buy,
Oh.
but because they don't do weekly payments.
Right.
You know, and some of the schools, I mean, if this was a mandate where they had to do it, then the school would be on the hook for supplying all.
Right.
Right.
Which many schools do have laptops for all the kids.
Right, but again, a lot of them do not. So they'll go down. So first one, go in now. So the first thing I'm going to talk about this Rocketbook, which is so I read it. I'm just reading it because it's in the article, right? It's an erasable paper. It's
Yeah.
To me, it's like what? I mean,
Yep.
pencils come with erasers.
Yeah.
They've always come with erasers.
Well, yes, they do.
So I was ahead of the curve back in the
But they
day.
don't store what you wrote before
Right.
it erases it.
Right.
And that's
but it's
the
only
key.
$20.
Yeah, that's nuts. I bought the moleskin one
Yep.
back when that first came out,
Right.
which was, and it's phenomenal. It'll sit there and just convert everything straight in, and I get images, and I get everything, and I've used it to do diagrams, send them off, boom. It's a fantastic piece, but it's actually writing on paper, so you got to have all the moleskin
Yeah,
notebooks, which were nice when they decided that technology was bad, and I can get them all in clearance. But
I wonder if I could talk my producer into throwing a pin at me out here because I want to make note. Because this is okay. So they're saying this thing is like $20. Oh, I don't want to use your pretty one because if I break it or lose it, I feel bad. We literally have pins all over this place.
What's a pen?
I know.
I have an Apple Pencil.
Oh my
That won't
God.
do you any good.
Okay, so that's about $20. But the next thing they said is
Here it comes. Everybody ready?
See, there we go. So, so that's it. That's $20, right? I'm just writing that. I'm just going to figure all this out, right?
Right.
$20. The next thing is a good laser printer. Does it have to be a laser printer? I don't know. I mean, they're nice. They
Well-
don't spread, and the ink don't run, and
A black and white printer, because first off, you don't need to be spending a bunch of money for toner or any colors. But yeah, I mean, a good laser printer will support you. It'll last a lot longer.
Right,
Than
but now you're talking
$200.
Well, no,
At
you
least.
can get them. The
Laser?
laser printers, $99. You can get a.
Right, with $89 cartridges every time you need to replace the toner.
Depends on what
Yeah.
you use. Brother does make one. We have one.
Yes.
We have one that's a Brother unit,
Yeah.
and didn't cost too much. It was an all-in-one, and those cartridges are at Staples for only $47 a piece.
Okay, so 40.
Which, considering that we
Yeah.
can go 3-4 months.
I got
on
one
a
that I paid like
consistent-
$400 for, but it came with 3 years of ink.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Back
I'm
in the-
done, all in. This is and it'll do 11 by 17.
There you go.
Oh,
So, yeah.
hey, because every high schooler needs 11 by
Oh
7.
yeah, they do to make
Exactly.
posters.
That's right.
That's right.
Put them on their wall, with
Protest.
Wonder Woman.
There you have it.
Protest.
So what's next?
Okay, so the next thing is that they talked about is, now I asked you this before the show started, is a good, reliable mesh Wi-Fi system. Why do you think they're saying a mesh Wi-Fi system?
Well, a mesh Wi-Fi system is going to be able to give you a network that you have only one SSID. So whatever you want to call it, My Home Wi-Fi or My Home Wi-Fi 5G. Then you can name just that one name on all the devices. So wherever you move around in the house, it's always connected to the same one. And the way the mesh works is it goes ahead and knows a distance from how long it takes for a packet to go from the particular device back to the hub. And so if it's shorter at this location than this location, then it just switches your internet connection over to this particular device. So that way you have the fastest speed going. And with the mesh, again, you don't have to have all sorts of different SSIDs like, home 1, home 2 for every extender you add to or access point you add to your network. Now they all can mesh together as one gigantic network. And that's the whole premise of a mesh network.
I said the word Walmart, and Walmart ad showed up.
Don't say Walmart.
Holy crap. So they got this, so they're showing that Eero mesh, reliable mesh network,
Yeah,
right?
Google makes one.
So this one's $200. So I wrote that down. So far we're up to $419. That's without buying a cartridge, by the way.
Now that's depending on how big your house is too.
True.
You may not even need.
And yeah, your kids may not need to be moving around the house while they're working either.
No.
Okay.
no.
They
Yeah.
shouldn't be. They should be sitting at a desk.
You'd think,
No, if your
yeah.
child's walking up and down the stairs with their laptop, you're going to have
I mean,
problems.
that is where I see that particular device being incredibly useful is Wi-Fi calling.
Yes.
Okay, that would be indispensable for Wi-Fi calling because where I am, we have we have like 1 bar, 5G cell signal. So we automatically switch over to Wi-Fi calling whenever we're home because it's the only way we can get phone calls. But if I walk to another room of the house and it wants to dump me, it's like, oh yeah, I lose the call.
Right.
So that would be phenomenal.
So then I found, okay, so if you can't get, if a Wi-Fi mesh system is not in your budget, and you have one of those laptops that don't have a port, a Wi-Fi, a wireless port,
Right.
you can buy one of these USB-C dongles that allow it to actually connect to the internet. So that way,
Wow.
that way it gives you your internet over USB-C, which is pretty fast because I use it this way
Yeah.
too as well. I have a computer.
Yeah.
I use it for other stuff, but yes, it does work.
Whenever Frontier calls out and it's like, yeah, we're having a problem, and they're like, okay, well, you connect to with a cable. I'm like, no, we
Yeah.
have no devices that can connect.
Yeah, they do. They make
And it's like, right. But apparently, there
They
is
do.
now.
It's-
yeah,
and
USB LAN.
I bought it
Yeah.
for $89, so that's $89.
Yeah.
That's if you need it, right? So the next thing is a cheap set of wireless noise canceling headphones.
Doesn't necessarily have to be wireless.
No, it doesn't.
No.
So
Doesn't.
And I will say, I use my earbuds.
Yes.
Corsair
AirPods all the
makes a
time.
nice set of noise canceling headset. Mostly, they're supposed to be for gaming and stuff, but it also comes with a 7.1 surround sound USB sound card.
Okay.
So you can choose, whether or not to use the sound card that's built into your computer,
Right.
or if, accidentally the kids, break a port off on it, or something like that. It comes with a little USB 7.1 surround. Like some Macs, for instance, you can't, plug
Yeah.
in the headphones right, so you can, utilize these devices.
Nice.
So it works pretty nice.
So the next thing they said, if you're using a laptop, a lap desk to make using a laptop easier. So that's kind of. I actually have a fan that I've learned that I travel with because these things overheat. When
Yeah.
I had my Macs, you can get me wrong, I'm a Mac guy, but I had my Mac. The things would get so hot you couldn't put them on your lap.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and the one I bought was $45. So let's just add $45. So we haven't even put the cost of the machine in here yet. This is the stuff you need to go out and get, right? So we're at 603 right now. Right? Wow. And then right here, a Bluetooth transmitter makes connecting headphones easier. So most laptops
Already have Bluetooth.
are
Yeah.
Bluetooth, but if you have an older one, and
Right. Or you have
so
a
just
cheap
say,
one that
okay, gotta go now. We
Yeah,
get.
well, because we only bought the $499 laptop,
Right.
you're probably not going to have Bluetooth
That's
in
right.
it.
So-
here's your upgrade.
So I'm going to put the $499 laptop. Say they got a really good laptop and Adam had it on sale for $499. It was badass, right? So
Right.
they got it from.
Well,
so they got a
if-
good
if
laptop,
Adam
right?
has it,
Right.
then
And
yeah,
that's right,
it'd be-
exactly. 'Cause he's not going to have anything crappy. That's for damn sure. So right now with the $499, we're at $1,100, $1,142. Let's see what else they have.
Did we buy a laptop yet?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
$499
yeah.
was
Oh,
just
we
for
did
you.
get it.
You had a
Yep.
special on, right?
Yeah.
Special?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't go to Walmart. They came to Adam and bought one of Adam's
Right.
refurbished ones that are just monster. Now here they're saying Bluetooth speaker.
I thought we
Tampa
just bought a headset,
that's
so
what
they
I'm
wouldn't
saying.
need a speaker.
Why-
It's
why?
A
Now they're
or
just-
B. Yeah,
Right.
now they're
So,
like,
but we're gonna add it on there.
now
So
we're
they'll-
into Christmas
$30.
lists.
I think they're starting to get into those Amazon.
Yeah, we are now into affiliate links.
Affiliate
Oh
link
my
and-
God! Right. Oh, and
Okay.
of course, you have to have a wireless mouse. You can't
Okay,
have
now
a
that
wired,
a
right?
mouse, yeah.
So Razer, we're gonna put the Razer one that they're claiming.
Well,
that is-
now, which
Razer?
laptop did not come with a mouse?
every laptop.
every laptop comes.
I
in
just thought I'd ask that.
Yeah.
They come with a touchpad.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not very.
Yeah.
$59, right? Oh, see.
Wow.
I'm doing math.
Jeez, they really.
You can get a $20 at Best Buy.
I know,
you can
but
get
they
one
want
for $20.
long lasting. Best one, 285 hours.
Microsoft
Now,
brand.
are these kids doing schoolwork or are they playing Fortnite?
I don't know. And they say, now, you need a keyboard to turn your iPad.
Right. Well, we already bypassed
Okay,
that.
Right, we bypassed
we
it.
don't have to do
We're
that.
But
getting-
$150 for a freaking, check that bad boy out.
My assistant just bought one for $15
Yeah, that's
to go
what
on
I'm
her
saying.
iPad.
Right. Okay, so that's it, right? So
Yep.
that's what they said. Okay, so right
Yep.
now, for you to
Yes.
have the kiddos loan home,
Right.
your initial cost is $1,231.
But now from that, you have to subtract back to school clothes.
Well, just back,
They
subtract?
don't need them.
back to school tops.
No,
Yeah.
no,
tops.
Just-
you still
yeah.
have to have clothes. You got to dress for success. You got to dress for that
Okay.
job you want, right? So that's amazing. For $1,231,
Your kid's ready to go back to school.
you're ready to go back to school, man. And here's the thing: when he goes, and batteries.
And batteries.
Okay, if you go to Sam's Club, which I do, their batteries actually outlast. We did a test in studio.
Yeah.
They outlasted the Duracells and they outlasted the Energizers.
Wow.
So Sam's members mark batteries.
No kidding.
And you can get 48 for like $16.
Wow.
So that's double A's. That should last you for a while. So there you go, folks. $1,231 to send the kiddos back, or to keep the kiddos home, or when all said and done, they get to lug that with them to school now.
Nah, I don't think I don't think
You
so.
just bought a kick-ass Fortnite gaming station.
The kids will be very happy.
Or what's the other one that everybody plays? Minecraft. So you give me Minecraft. Hey, whatever. I don't. Or what's the other one? Where you Sims?
You know what? They're all in the Slither.
No.
Elementary, they're in
Yeah.
the Slither.
Slither. Oh my God.
Slithered.
Well, you're not playing
Worm.
Fortnite on your
IO.
Apple. That's for damn sure. So because as soon as the update hits, they're gone.
Yeah.
So,
Worm.
but yeah. So it's interesting that that's the kind of what they really want to kind of push.
Yeah, there's ways around all that, you know.
Now I'm gonna jump here because I don't want to make sure that we ate up a lot of time on that one. So, so I was asked by my significant other, my wifey. She goes, I can't print at home. So I'm like, you know what? I heard, we'll finally suck it up and we'll do Google Print, which is going away in 2021. Way to go, Google. But I've had several people ask me about this, and I'm like, oh, it's easy, blah blah blah. So I tried it this weekend. Oh, it ain't easy.
I got it set up for a client, and it worked just flawlessly. And now
Yeah.
you tell me they were going to make it go away.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, because we switched them over from their POS system.
Yeah.
Which was not
Does that mean
integrated.
piece of crap?
No, that'd be
I
a
didn't say the S word.
PO something else system.
POC?
No, point of sale system.
Oh, okay.
But they wanted to integrate it with their online store.
Yeah.
And so we were able to integrate it, and then we set the online store up with the Google Print to go straight to their hot receipt printer. And so it was able to print out, and using their normal printer that they've been using right there at the register, only boom, it's all done, and it has all their inventory management in it now and everything else, and they love it. But now you're telling me that it's going to go away. So it can be used to link just about anything on the internet straight through into whatever printer you want to use it on, which is very, very cool. You just have to register that printer with Google, I believe.
Register the printer with Google or your Google Chrome,
Right.
for instance, inside your computer, and then make sure you have go into settings and tell it to run apps in the background.
Yes.
Have that service turned on, because
Right.
if Chrome is not up and running
Yeah.
in the computer, your Google Cloud Print is not going to work. If you're using like a printer that's basically either Wi-Fi connected in the office, or on your LAN, or
Right.
if you have it connected USB, that would be the Google Cloud Print. That particular feature.
Right.
You would have to have Google Chrome running in the device, on the laptop, or a device in the office to make it work. If not,
okay, go ahead.
well, I was going to say, if not, a lot of these new printers like HPs and stuff like that, Brother, they have Google Cloud Print built into them. So HP has their own Cloud Print feature, but they also allow you to connect to Google apps to Cloud Print too. So it's just a matter of signing in with your credentials, and that printer will show up in your Google Chrome wherever you sign in as a listed printer that you can print to.
Right.
So if it's at home, then you would just, say if you're on the road on a business trip and you needed your office manager or somebody to have a particular paper, faxed over to somebody, you could literally print it while out on the street.
And it'll print back to the office.
Back at the office. They can go ahead and do what they need to do with
Very
it.
convenient.
See, because the reason I wanted to be able to do it so if I am at home and I'm coming into the studio, and say I did my show prep over the weekend like I normally do, I can already send it to that printer, but nothing in the studio is on.
Well, that would not do you any good.
No.
So you would then, in a case like that, would be to get a printer that already offers Cloud Print built into it.
Okay.
And then, because most of the time,
leave it on.
nobody goes around turning off their printer.
No, my printer never shuts off.
Right.
Ever.
So then you would just do it that way.
So it's seeing how here I am. I texted him this morning. I said, hey, can you talk about Google Print and how hard it, or what, how to set it up? And he goes, yeah, sure. And then we get over here. He goes, oh, by the way, it's going away. Is there any other service like that?
Well, like I said, HP has their own cloud. Like when you buy a brand new
And
HP
Canon
printer,
does too, I believe. Yep.
They have a free service. Basically, if you have something that you want to print, on your phone, you just literally, save the PDF or whatever on your phone or device, and then email it to the email address that they attach to your printer. Once you email it to it, it'll print it. You can even fax it that way too.
Nice.
So, you don't have to.
I mean, AirPrint at home from the phones and everything else is freaking awesome.
It is.
But we do it
I
here in
love
studio.
it. Yeah. AirPrint is fantastic. I wish there was some way that, because if Apple just created that capacity, forget it. Life would just be nirvana at that point.
Right.
But, yeah.
So we're not really going to go into SuperNet, but our man here sent us some other stuff, and I'm trying to get to it real quick. Tech Trader. Let's talk about this. AMD Ryzen 5000. 5,000. That's like a Rocky 5,000.
So this is really just what they call APU. So it's a Ryzen chip with a graphics processor built into it.
Nice.
So what they're doing now is they're using their new GPUs.
Right.
And they're going ahead and installing them into the processor. And the nice thing about this particular processor is not the fact that it can utilize DDR4 or anything like that, but it's going to be capable of supporting DDR5, which now puts the graphics that's inside the CPU on par with a regular desktop discrete graphics card. So you'll be able to get that same kind of refresh rate and 3D modeling that you would have got from a discrete graphics on a lower budget. This makes either building a computer cheaper, for instance, so you can get start off with a smaller initial investment. You don't have to buy a graphics card. You could save yourself $300-400 on a build by buying an APU. They're not massive devices. You're not going to get the same kind of speed and everything that you would get out of a discrete graphics card.
Right.
But you will be able to do have a low-end gaming computer or laptops, for instance. They'll be able to build nice, decent high-end laptops with a decent graphics card built into them.
With a mid-range price point.
With a mid-range price point without having to go crazy, which is nice.
Why? Okay, so here's something that I've noticed, and I mean we knew Apple was going to do. Why is everybody trying to get away from Intel?
Intel back. What really ended up happening was I think it was around the sixth or seventh generation. Intel started having some coding issues when they were developing the software that drives the internals of the processor.
Okay.
And what was happening is Apple, because they're such a large purchaser, of course they would get that whole data sheet and everything, the schematics and everything about the processor right off the bat.
Okay.
Because they have to build their machines around it and their software. And what started happening is they started coming up with major bugs, just one after another, after another, and after another. And next thing you know, they started, saying, hey, this is, they're supposed to be buying the processor from Intel.
Right.
They're not supposed to be doing Intel's development of the processor.
Yeah.
So when it started running into so many issues, I think that's where you started seeing that whole, Apple decided that it's time to start pushing, their processor development in-house, which they already were with their iPads and their iPhones. So
Right.
it was already that one camel, one straw that broke the camel.
There was a merge
back.
lane already in place, and so it was like, okay, yeah, we're just going to nudge over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Why
now,
not?
like with AMD, everybody, like Apple's doing a 7 nanometer processing for their chips and everything. Intel's like, well, we're not ready for it yet. Just too many delays. They're saying they're capable of doing this, but they're not.
Sounds like Intel has real systemic issues.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it does, doesn't
they're
it?
really
Yeah.
seem to be, and it's just really amazing how AMD had just once this whole Zen processors, this whole Zen architecture came in, and they started building the Ryzens and everything. How just that whole marketing and then the way they started developing, they just started really just going ham, and their processor just. I think they're doing a really great job. I don't know how long they're going to sustain, and Intel might make a comeback. You never know, but
They will.
It's just inevitable. I mean,
they will.
It's not like
Because
we have many options.
what is, they got a bad system in place inside the company. And so what's going to happen is they're going to be forced to go back and start cutting.
Yeah.
And that's going to force them to go, oh, wait a minute, this was part of the bad system.
Yeah.
Let's just dump that and let's go ahead now and streamline. Because it sounds like they got way too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And, you know, they need to figure out how to have a vision that they can
their
then deliver on.
processor pricing has dropped considerably too.
Well, it's matching its quality.
Yeah.
Well, when I see all of the streaming softwares that are out there, including our own, which is we are a vMix sponsored studio, and vMix is starting to write their software for the Ryzen AMD chips. That tells me something.
That is a big thing. When a developer says, you know, enough is enough, and they say, hey, you know, it's time to recode our software.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because I'll tell you one thing. I love AMD processors. I do not really care for their graphics processors, their GPUs.
Okay.
And it's really boils down to the way they implement their drivers. The driver situation is just not stable, not like NVIDIA's. So when it comes down to it, you know, but their processors are great.
Right.
Most bang for the buck, but again, you know, when they went out and bought ATI and pulled that ATI graphics in and turned it into AMD graphics cards, I don't know what it is, but they've just, that whole problem with, you know, video drivers is my only hiccup with that section of the company.
Right. Tell you
We'll
what,
see what happens.
big changes, because the next thing we're going to talk about real quick is there is an actual laptop shortage.
Yes.
And I think you actually dealt with this last week, did you?
Yeah, we're dealing with it right now. We have you have a school that's a charter that's trying to get going, and they want to basically give teachers their computers. They got the wrong devices right now, and then they have to possibly send it back. It becomes a big issue, logistics issue, and so we're going to try replacing them with all Chromebooks. Well, everybody's sold out of Chromebooks.
Yeah.
You can't get your hands on Chromebooks.
Right.
Technology is great, but right now there is a big shortage of laptops and devices and hardware needed to either build computers or supply the demand. And I mean, the demand is really high. You're talking about every school system, for the most part, is out there buying Chromebooks, because a lot of the stuff is running off Google's education platform.
Yeah.
And
which is something else we should talk about.
Yeah, there's so many, everybody's going to might as well get a Chromebook. They're a low-cost device. They get they're easily managed once they sign into the Google Classroom, and the school systems can get them out there and get them to the families.
And because I'm looking at this one right here, because the story came out of that we're following is out of San Francisco, AP, the Associated Press, and they have and I guess the schools, if the schools mandate you're going to have to do this from home, they have to supply the computer to do it. So I mean, just like there's this one area, and I'm just taking this from the actual it was on USA Today that was talking about it. There, in the district in California's Mojave Desert, right, where all 8,000 students qualify for free lunch, and most need computers for distance learning. So, where do you go get 8,000 Chromebooks today? You can't.
No, you can't.
No.
So it's like,
Houston,
what do you
have
do?
a problem.
You're not gonna. There's nothing you can do. I mean, it's not like you can just say, "Hey."
What you got to do is look at the fact that every one of those students, well, not everyone, but probably a large number of them,
I'm gonna go without.
have mobile devices.
True, yes.
So you cater to what they have. Stop forcing them, into another platform because it's easier for you.
Right.
And cater to what they have, because there are a lot of LMSs out there right now that run flawlessly on a smartphone.
Yeah.
Okay, and 80 to 90% of people, even in the poorest neighborhoods, still have a smartphone. And as long as they can get a Wi-Fi connection on it, Okay, that's going to be your big bugaboo, is making sure they got Wi-Fi. But once they got that, put the LMS in here. Okay, use an actual, because we build courses that have to be functional on a mobile device. So why can't they?
Exactly.
Okay, switch your platform. Don't expect to be able to go get 8,000 computers from your vendor who contributed to your election campaign.
And that's just one little. That's just one.
That's just one school.
One school district out of how many? 300. It's crazy. So I don't know. To me it's this.
Well, closer to home, Miami-Dade.
Yeah.
They're all distance learning. A lot of the schools are not
Okay.
allowing this. So a lot of the
Well, in
the
Miami, I
districts
can
down
see
there,
that.
Yeah, they're not allowing the kids. They're not going to have the kids come to school.
Right.
The
No.
teachers can go to the school
Right.
and teach out,
Right.
but the kids are all at home.
Yeah, which makes sense. Okay, I mean
Yeah, they're in a room by themselves.
Exactly.
and-
Yeah,
Exactly.
they've got 900 square
Okay,
feet to themselves.
okay, have you've been to Disney. You've been to Disney.
Only a few times.
Only a few times, right? And then you go through the innovation, of the ball, the big.
Oh, the golf ball.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you go in there, and there's one point in there where, it shows you the future, and all the kids
It stopped
are.
at 2020, didn't it?
It did.
After that, it becomes a Mad Max movie. It's really weird.
Exactly. So, but you have this one teacher in this one room, and his whole classroom is nothing but virtual kids.
Right. Screens. For all the
Screens.
kids.
All the kids.
Yeah.
And that's how he's teaching.
So get this. You just said that, right? So my cousin called and said that they last week wrestling just did the same thing. They're now wrestling doing the shoot down in Tampa, and they put
Thunderdome.
yeah, they put a whole bunch of monitors in the seats, and people basically can zoom in,
zooming in. Yeah.
to watch the show.
Right.
And I'm like, it's like you're sitting here thinking, a lot of this stuff from watching TV and stuff is really coming to fruition. All the sci-fi shows and stuff. You're like, wow.
Yeah, but
We had the capability.
So here's my thing. So the schools are doing it backwards.
yeah.
They're
Yes.
doing it backwards.
Yep.
They're trying to get computers out to these kids. Okay, so if you're sitting in a classroom,
Yep.
if I'm a child and I'm watching a teacher, what do I get? I get a handout,
Yep.
right? I get a handout. I have my own
book
pen,
and a
my
notebook.
own paper, my whole thing, and then I'm watching them on a chalkboard,
Right.
right? So why can't each school have literally one big massive screen with a computer?
Mm-hmm.
All the children they could be on their phone, their tablet,
Exactly.
whatever.
Whatever.
If there's stuff that they needed to be done,
Yep.
should have been downloaded, and they can print that out. Okay, so they have to go buy
That's
a
why
printer.
we need a printer.
Okay, so now you have all your stuff here, right? And if you're lucky enough, you have a computer, whatever. And now they're watching this teacher just as if they were sitting in that classroom,
Yep.
doing their work on their piece of paper.
Yep.
Done.
Well, the key is they can't monitor the student to make sure they are sitting there.
They can't do it
and
now.
think about, they're doing it now.
Yeah. Well,
The teacher's sitting there looking at all 30 kids on their screen and making sure they're looking at them.
yeah.
And when it comes to testing, okay, this is where it gets really weird because my wife has gone back for a degree in project management. What's really cool is she signed up for completely virtual before all this hit.
Yeah.
Her entire program is virtual. It's also with SPC. And but what's wild is it's really set up for kids with laptops because when you go to take a test, they have this thing called Honor Lock, and you have to take your computer and show your whole room that there's no books, there's no nooks, there's no crannies, there's no nothing, and then you set it back down and you are being watched the whole time, okay, while you're taking your test. Mm-hmm. And so there are situations, okay, where you want to be able to lock in and make sure that that's the student that's taking the test, and I see that, okay, with the LMS systems that we use, we're on an honor system because these people want to learn. They're not going to go, oh, come help me cheat my test.
Right.
It's like, no, I need to know this crap. I don't care if I got to take the test 47 times. And that's where but things have really changed. Look at what Google is now offering. They have, they've announced that they're no longer looking at degrees when they're doing hires at Google. They want to see.
I may have a job. No, I was kidding.
They want to see.
I got degrees.
Not even high school, John. You're in.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. But the point is, what they're doing is they're saying, no, all we want to see is that you have completed a certificate program in the skill set that we're looking for. And then they offer that as part of their Google University, and anybody can take those courses. And currently, it's like $49 a month to be enrolled in Google U. And they're thinking, why spend, $100,000 getting a degree that's outdated the minute you take the diploma?
Yeah.
When really what you need to do is stay and doing continuous learning, and we're going to provide that platform for continuous learning, but that's an honor system. Okay, or is it? Are people going to cheat on it and they go, look, I have the degree?
That's not what it's about. It's about how much you're going to end up paying that person at the end. They're no longer going to have student loans to pay, so you can pay them less money.
Well,
all about it. No, you're absolutely right.
Well, I had a job, because just truth be told, I had a job interview from a company, I'm not going to name who it was, and it was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to the job interview, and they're like, well, would you be willing to shut your station down? I said, no, I'll probably leave it to my kids and let my kids run with it. That's
right.
Because they can run with it, right? And the guy goes, well, what's your degree? I said, well, I have a Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. Right, and there's in one the arts, and they're both in the media, not a communications. I do not have a communications degree. Mine's electrical, and so the guy goes. I said, but here's the thing: it doesn't matter what my degree was in, because it has no bearing on what I'm doing now.
Not at all.
It's the same. I mean, same field. Right. It was audio engineering, right? It was because I was either going to fix the equipment, that's the electrical side, of the stuff that we were going to use in the industry, or I was going to be working in the one way or another.
But it was analog,
right?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, it doesn't matter. So everything that you're going to hire me for is my experience over the last 20 years.
Right.
And I said, which is massive TV.
Right.
It's all production. And the guy goes, yeah, but if you don't have that degree, he literally said, if you don't have that degree that's in TV communications, I said, I don't need it. I've got life experience that you can't teach.
No, you can't teach.
And they're like, no, sorry, man. He goes, you're qualified, but you're not qualified.
Yep. And
I'm like, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard.
And the fact is, the reason they do that has nothing to do with your performance on the job. It has to do with a hiring manager covering his butt. So there's a policy in place that he can point to and say, hey, I followed your rules, so don't fire me.
Yeah.
I didn't take a risk on this guy.
I said, look, you guys called me. I didn't call you.
Ridiculous.
And let me talk to your supervisor, or let me talk to the powers that be.
Yep.
Nope.
Nope.
I couldn't get to him.
Nope.
But a year later, I did get to him. They're like, well, why didn't you get that job? I was like, because he was the one that gave me the interview. He was the one. You need to go do this. I said, because I didn't have a degree in TV communications like you wanted. I have a degree in arts and science, and he said but the kid said because I didn't have it. He goes, why didn't you ask to see me? I said I did, and he told me no. So
anyway, that kid's out of a job anyway. Anyway, now on to our next story.
So the next thing is, when I tell you we have three pages of notes.
Yep.
But we're going to jump to consistent marketing. That is, I agree with you. I know exactly where you were going. I was just hoping for some pictures I could show. But,
I know, but the fact is, you're going to have to look at me or John through this, and so I'm sorry.
Oh, Adam too, because Adam does the exact same thing.
Well, here's the thing. If you go online, and the reason they don't have stuff is because everything you look at out there, that if you look up for the benefits of consistent marketing, consistent social marketing, digital marketing, all that stuff, it all comes back with the same thing, and that is really just branding.
Yep.
And they're saying everything needs to look the same, everything needs to be part of a holistic image, everything needs to be la 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 la. And the name of my segment today was actually, I am number 10 on the list, I think. It was consistent marketing is better than great marketing. And the fact of the matter is, if you are doing what you do, and you are doing good content marketing, which could be you're writing articles on how to deal with the stuff in your business. Let's look, Adam's over in computer repair and maintenance and doing all these things. And so Adam may not have the best logo in the world. Adam may not have the best video skills in the world. Adam, okay? Adam may not, he's crying, okay?
The sharks
he's
come
over
out
here,
there, don't they?
Is like,
when you try to do it yourself.
But the fact of the matter is, one thing can override all those. And it really made the point got driven home with me this last Friday or Saturday when two of our favorite YouTubers that always publish on Friday and Saturday were both on vacation in the same week. It just leaves a giant hole in someone's life.
Damn them for going on vacation.
I know, damn them. I don't begrudge them, but it was just like it really drove the point home. The point is not, just solid information, however you want to present it consistently.
Yes.
Okay? So if people know that you're out there at 11 o'clock on Mondays doing a show called The Tech Shamans, that you're actually out there on Mondays doing a show called The Tech Shamans,
yep.
and allow them to make you a bedrock in their life. And you don't, unlike this, which is a live program, okay, you don't have to be there at 11 o'clock on Mondays in order to do that.
That's right.
One of the things, we have a story coming up about Apple and WordPress. And WordPress offers an app that allows you to go on there, create your content right on your phone. You can write your article, you can dictate it while you're driving. Okay, you can just do speech to text right there, boom, 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 boom. Create your ideas, create your rough drafts, go on. Then later on, when you can get to your laptop or your iPad or whatever, okay, go in and do your final edits, add your images, do all the pretty stuff, and then set it to publish in 2 or 3 weeks because that's how far ahead you are. Mm-hmm. Okay, and just keep doing that, and then your stuff will always auto launch at 11 o'clock on Mondays, mm-hmm. or 7:45 a.m. on Tuesdays, which is one of your best times, okay, to do that kind of thing. And it will just go out there and just statistically, tracking stuff in social media between 7:45 and 8:30 a.m. on Tuesdays is an excellent time to publish your stuff.
Right.
If you're in business to business. If you're doing personal stuff for hobbies, go for a Friday afternoon or a Saturday morning. Okay, it's a great time to pub. Because if you've got stuff out there that people will enjoy watching or reading or listening to, set it to auto-publish for you. And you've got these kinds of tools available. They don't it's not like you have to be there at that time in order to be someone's bedrock, in order to be someone's go-to at that time every week. They know it's going to be there. They can start to set their life around you.
Yeah.
And that is so much more important than having great branding and great images and a perfect website and all these things. No, be someone they can rely on.
You know how I know you're right?
How do you know I'm right, Adam?
Because there was a group that I would go to every Monday,
yep.
and I would post my same advertisement there
yes.
on Facebook all the time.
Yep.
And so lo and behold, there's a competitor that
right.
has he sees it.
Yeah.
And he decided to critique it, but not in the group. He took it out, a screenshot of it, and then went into another group, which for professionals in IT, and then critiqued it there, which I am a member of the group. And I saw some stuff that people had made mention to, and somebody, people were saying, well, it's not the point that you might not like the way it reads or what's going on or the punctuation or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is he's always doing it consistently and he's on top of mind of the people that are in that
exactly.
group. So even if you're marketing them periodically, it's not the matter that, he's doing it.
Right.
And so I did obviously make a comment. I says, it's ironic, isn't it? Because
thank you for sharing my stuff.
And it's funny because then what I did is I retargeted, rebuilt my ad a little bit, but I'm still consistent, still
right.
the same thing.
Right.
And it works.
And it works.
It works.
And that's especially if you're offering some benefit with that.
Correct.
So that they have a real reason to want to read it every week.
Right.
Or if you've got video. I mean, we've got clients here at the studio who they want to take time off, and that's like, bad idea. Bad idea. Be consistent. Okay. Record ahead, and then take a month off.
Yep.
Record yourself 4 extra episodes so you can do that. But do not tell the people who have said, wow, I really like this person, I really like the way she talks, I really like her information, and she just told me I don't matter. That's what happens.
You lose.
That's what you're telling people.
You lose the trust of the viewer. Yeah,
Yes.
you can ask these guys, man. When people aren't, when these guys are like, I can't make it, or I give them a hard time. It's like you don't understand. You got to be here, man. This is a commitment. It's not just a commitment to me. It's a commitment to people that watch the show.
Yep.
And I know for a fact people watch the show because I've gotten thank yous for me introducing them to you. And they don't say one word. I see. Here's the thing. There's two types of shoppers. There's two types of people. We'll go and go. Well, I saw you here and here and here and here, and they're trying to hit you for a discount. Then I have those other people that go in there and they just do business, and then they'll come back to me and go, "Man, that dude was on." I have gotten more compliments from, especially Alan. They think Alan's the nicest kid in the whole wide world, man. I was like, "Did you know Alan?" I'm like, "I do know Alan." He goes, "Oh my God, sharp, nice, polite." I mean, it's like the kid has never lost his cool with anybody. And so and that's the stuff I get. I should tell you more often when it happens. But people are like, oh, and then we'll get people that'll write me in going, "Hey man, Anthony was so spot on. I did exactly what he said to do. Amazing that it worked." Right? So that's the feedback I get from the people that watch. And then there's other people that watch other shows and they're like, so that's you. If you come in here on a day and people have canceled their shows, you'll see John walk around with a hissy fit. I'm like, I cannot believe these people are doing this. And it's not just for their audience, it's for my audience, because WeBeam TV is trying to build a brand, and people trust me to bring them content that's actually going to work. The one of the biggest things that and I'm going to add on to this whole consistency versus great. I lost a job, and it was my fault because I just really wasn't trying to be arrogant. Normally, I'm really kind of cocky when I'm going to talk to people, but this time I'm like, I'm just going to pull back. I lost a job to a kid that has been doing video work for 9 months because he had 2 videos go viral. It wasn't the fact that he was good. The videos weren't even good videos.
Right.
But it's the fact that this person that was going to hire us goes, well, yeah, but he had 2 videos that went massively viral. I didn't want to sit there and say, well, there's one I had to go viral, almost 1 million hits, but I'm not sure you don't want to watch that one.
Which,
saying,
you know what? I would have made that argument, though. I can show you a viral video. Let me show you what it takes to make a viral video.
That is
because
true.
it doesn't take anything except for luck and sensationalism. And unless you want to do that kind of thing with your business, and I'll tell you what, it is a dice roll.
It is.
And it is 6 D20s you got to roll, okay? And you got to roll 110 or better in order to get it. And that's really how it rolls. And no, you cannot predict viral. You cannot engineer viral. You can buy viral.
Yep.
But that's going to cost you a small fortune to buy viral.
So anyway, so 2 weeks later I see the guy's commercial on television. It's a PowerPoint. Shit you not. It was a PowerPoint.
Perfect.
Like, you gotta be kidding me.
The mere fact that he decided to put it on TV.
Yeah. It just blew my mind. So anyway, so you need to look at that's what we're saying. We're consistent. I'm consistent. Every week I produce shows. Every week. Now, some shows, some are train wrecks. Not because of what we've done, but because of the product that we're given with, and it's just a train wreck. But we're consistent. I'll consistently produce a train wreck if that's what they want.
If that's what they want, yeah.
Me personally, I think that, so if you're going to advertise for yourself, it's a drip, 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 drip.
Hey, look at
drip.
Coffee. You may not think. Yeah, no, really, coffee.
Coffee's good.
You may not think.
We need to get a coffee sponsor.
That's a thought.
You don't drink coffee, though.
Or kava.
Kawa.
That's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That'll burn you good out.
You may not think that drip as much, but you look at the Grand Canyon. That was all just drip marketing on a piece of rock.
Yep.
So
that is true.
Just took a few million.
Now, I brought up WordPress.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we jump into that story now?
Where's it at?
Because Adam and I are on completely different ends of the spectrum.
Okay, let's talk about it really quick. So
Yes.
it's not on here. So WordPress. Let's talk about
WordPress.
it.
I thought it was on here. Adam, why don't you go ahead and intro this? I've been talking enough.
Oh, Apple, it was just released today. Apple, WordPress makes an app so that way you can go ahead and, log into your website and do your marketing and any kind of design
Check your
changes.
stats.
Check everything, do whatever you need to do, make it easy on your mobile device so you can do it on the go. And Apple just released a statement saying that they decided they're not going to force WordPress to monetize their content, their app itself,
Right.
and cause premium services and things like that, in which they would start charging a monthly premium, so
Right.
Apple could make a 30% cut
Exactly.
commission off of it.
Dirty,
And
rotten scoundrels.
Scoundrels.
so in that aspect, I believe Apple's just trying to save their skin.
Well, they're trying to make some skin.
they're trying to make their money. That is
Exactly.
that is the
Yeah.
whole premise
Yeah,
of
because
their.
having a big giant app, okay, that everybody loves, because 53% of the websites in the world are built on the WordPress platform.
Hey.
Okay, and so now you got a big app out there that's enormously powerful, incredibly useful, and with some training and some teaching, anybody can learn how to use it really well. Okay, but it's free. There's nothing to buy in it.
And Apple wants
And
a piece of
Apple's
that
like,
cake.
wait a minute, why are we giving all this bandwidth?
Right.
Okay, to this monstrosity for free. And so I understand where Apple's coming from, because the fact of the matter is, yes, it's free, but I'd like to remind us all that WordPress has almost 800 employees who do very well for themselves. They live all over the world. They are a large corporation that has no office space anywhere in the world. It's
None.
100% virtual. It's a great place to work because you work wherever you are. But the fact is, they aren't doing that for free.
You better hurry.
So where are they coming up with their money? They do sell a lot of pay-to-play apps and so on in there, but you have to go off-platform to buy them, and that's something Apple doesn't allow.
That's right. And with
Yes.
that being said, thank you for watching Tech Shamans. We'll actually touch on this next week. We'll see everybody next week. Thank you.
Later.
Have a good one.
We got the plans, cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand, cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.